TitleMatchNetwork.com.
What were your initial impressions of Vince?
Well, initial impression of Vince, I mean, my gosh, here you get to meet, the owner, the CEO, the chairman of the board of most massive company worldwide, WWF, going all over the world in all different languages. You got all these superstars. So, my first impression was I was very, very impressed with Vince McMahon.
Mm-hmm.
How could you not be? Look at the success he acquired. What a businessman, and very, very pleasant. He loved the Native American character, which I was very, very happy about that because I was really Native. Something I took serious to heart, still take serious to heart. When I wear all this stuff, I wear this stuff every day. I wear the Native jewelry every day. People know me as the Native American, So I loved that he loved the character. We just got along great. But I had a lot of respect for him and still do, because look what he's done in the wrestling business. No matter what people say, he's always been the leader. He's always been the one that's been the driving force in our industry.
And how did you guys wind up with the name Tatanka?
Well, what Vince did is he wanted me to look at names. So I did the research myself. I'm someone I like to be thorough. I did all the research, going to native names. Okay. And he says, yeah, let's get a native name. I love it. He said, I want to try to do everything nice and authentic and what would be right. So I went and got a whole bunch of different tribal names, and I went through them, and I went through them, and I went through them. And as most people know, most native names, are usually 3 or 4 words. Just like Dances with Wolves or Stands with a Fist on the movie, because they're all a meaning or a time in your life, or when you're born, something representing something that you're doing. So a lot of times it is 3 or 4 words. So as I went through the name that I seen that stuck out to me, that was also one word, because I was also thinking what name could be marketable.
Right.
It's hard to market Big Bear running in woods. How do the fans chant that? Big Bear running in the woods. How do you, how can you get with that? But I kept seeing this name, Tatanka. And it's a Lakota name, and I kept looking at it, Tatanka. I went, man, that's Tatanka. And it just kept ringing and ringing. And the more I looked, there was no other names, but Tatanka kept ringing and kept ringing. So I said, this is it. And this is the name, because it's one word. It's not 3 or 4 words. It's a Lakota name, a very strong name. And plus, it not only did it represent buffalo, but it also represents big bull or buffalo. At that time when I came into WWF, I was 275 pounds. Like I am now, in great shape, ready to go, ready to run over you. So it matched me, Buffalo Bull, I'm going to run right over you. So I loved it. And then after we had picked the name and after we got started with the name, the great thing about that also is then Dances with Wolves, the movie itself with Kevin Costner, was out around that time. And in that movie, they mentioned Tatanka, the Sioux Lakota holy man, Tatanka. So it was very, very good. It really got exposed very, very good there.
How much did you and Vince work together on creating and marketing the Tatanka character?
A lot. When I first came in, it's tremendous. What a massive corporation. When I first came in, I come right into Titan Towers, sat down right in Vince's office. He took me from there, and I get to walk with, again, Mr. Vince McMahon. I'm looking at all these stars. In Titan Towers, you got all these posters of every guy. You got Hulk Hogan, the immortal Hulk Hogan. You got Randy Macho Man Savage. You got all these posters, Legion of Doom. You got all the great stars. It's like it's a little bit overwhelming when you first go there.
Right.
Then he takes you into the art department, creative department. And, I walk in, all of a sudden they lay out my whole character on this whole table. Boom! And they go, this is what we're thinking of. And they had already done all the artwork. They already showed me my pants. They already showed me my look, my hair, the whole 9 yards.
Was there anything you didn't like at all, or?
No, because I'm sitting there going just, wow, WWF. Here I am at WWF. One thing about myself is I realized too, sometimes people want everything their way when you first come in. How can you have everything your way when you first come in?
Right.
Yeah, if you're a Michael Jordan and you've been playing for Chicago Bulls for 10 years, then hey, this is what I want.
Right.
When you're first coming in, before Michael Jordan was Michael Jordan, believe me, he was a lot more lenient when he first came in, because he says, just let myself get in that door.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do the rest, because I know what I can do.
Right.
You know? So, you know, but the thing about it is what Vince was showing me, everything was great.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was fantastic, you know? And, you know, one of the biggest things is he says, well, there's one other thing we want you to do. We want you to do your hair red.
Right.
You know, and you're going to bleach it and have it red, and that's how it's going to be all the time. You know, that's kind of, you know, pretty overwhelming to have red hair, you know, everywhere you go all the time. I mean, it's not like, you know, dark black or, you know, red. Yeah. So, but I didn't sit there and go, no, Vince, I don't want to do that. I don't think we're going to do that. No. You know, and the great thing about it is, you know, when I first did it, we knew what it was going to represent, the bloodline of all the Native nations. You know, after I got it did, and everything was done, I cut it. I went, man, don't look that bad. Right. And all the guys told me, they said, man, Tatanka, you got to be the only guy I know who can have red hair. Right, you still look good. You don't look like terrible, like something like, man, you look silly. You know what I'm saying? So
kind of like the Red Rooster gimmick when he had the
correct. So you know, and so I was just overwhelmed and thankful for the opportunity. And you know, we did progress my character, and what we progressed is I was in those white pants at first, long pants, and a different kind of boot, and I had the red hair. But what we progressed is, as we talked more, Chief Jay Strongbow and myself, he's going, man, get these great legs, you know, and you're covering them up. And plus the natives never wore this kind of white long pants with this kind of thong red thing in the middle. He says, we need to get you out of this. He says, we need to get you to a loincloth. And the thing about it is, before I came to WWF, that's what I was wearing. Mm-hmm. You know, but I didn't want, you know, when I first came in, what they had laid out in the art department looked fantastic. Right. It was great. And matter of fact, I mean, it did look great, because I went with that for a long time. And the poster that I did, the poster shop, was one of the best selling posters for me, but also for WWF. Mm-hmm. So it really worked. But as anything, you know how to perfect things and you make things better. Right. And that's what Chief and myself did. And we went to Vince and said, hey, when we come out of the pants, get to the loincloth, show his legs, get some moccasin boots with fringe, more fringe instead of what's on this. Mm-hmm. And Vince says, great, let's do it. So we definitely, over time, we developed that character in that first year that we got it to what it is today. Right. You know, and it's the funniest thing, because then you perfect it, and you don't realize until after I left WWF, all the guys that are doing Native American characters, mm-hmm. and what they've done is copied exactly what I had. The loincloth, the fringe, the forearm thing, or the armband. I mean, almost to a T. Yeah. Does it bother you that the guys cop like the? No, not at all. Because no, not at all. I mean, to me, that's like, how could you be bothered about that? Right. I mean, if they think that much of you or your outfit that you've done a good job, be thankful. That's right. Be thankful. Matter of fact, there was one Native guy, which was Seminole. I actually, not too long ago, he was shocked. Let me show you how you really need to get this made. And I actually brought my outfits down. I showed his person, this is how you need to do it. He was Native. Right. I said, this is how you need to make the loincloth. Right. This is how you need to do the rings. Because it wasn't working for them, and then he couldn't understand why it was ripping or tearing and not staying. I said, let me show you what I've done here. Right. So I showed him my whole outfit. And they just couldn't believe it. But the thing about it is, everyone can copy you. Everyone can have your outfit. But when it's all said and done, there's only one Tatanka. Right. There's only one real Hulk Hogan. There's only one real The Rock. There's only one real Stone Cold. There's only one real John Cena. There's only one real Batista. I mean, yeah, you guys can dress up, but when it's all said and done, you only got one of a kind. Gotcha. TitleMatchNetwork.com